Imagine you're having a picnic with your friends in your local park. You lay down the blanket but find a big, jagged rock right where you want to sit down. You pick up the rock and are overcome with a desire to describe the rock, but you can't find the words necessary to make a good description. That's where I come in. Hi, I'm Alexander Frame, and I'm here to give you the tools necessary to make a complete rock description. There are three components to making a rock description. They are color, mineralogy, and texture. We will begin with the simplest, but possibly the most important aspect of them all, color. First, determine the color of the rock by looking at the rock from all angles and breaking off a weathered surface to find a fresh, unweathered surface. A detailed description of color is directly related to the rock's mineralogy, which I will discuss later. On his website, minerals.net, Herschel Friedman says, "Color alone will not identify a mineral, but it can be a very helpful factor. Together with color, crystal shape can identify most of the better known minerals." Color helps determine other characteristics of rocks, which is integral in deciding what rock you are looking at. With the suspense of determining what rock lies before you, we turn now to the next aspect, which is mineralogy. Minerals are naturally occurring solid and inorganic compounds and are the building blocks of all rocks. When talking about a rock's mineralogy, we are talking about the minerals present in a rock and the relative percentage. Most rocks are made up of the common rock-forming minerals, such as quartz, feldspar, micas, olivine, pyroxenes, and amphiboles. Mineralogy often narrows down what type of rock you're looking at and can sometimes name the rock itself. As Dr. Stephen Nelson of Tulane University says, quartz is the most abundant mineral in sandstones and second most abundant mineral in mudstones. He also says that feldspar is the most common mineral in igneous and metamorphic rocks. Looking at this rock, I would say that it is predominantly made up of quartz, with secondary feldspars as well, leading me to believe it is some sort of sedimentary rock. This goes to show how knowing the minerals in a rock is a big help in the identification of said rock. While mineralogy alone can oftentimes name the rock, no rock description is complete without a detailed description of the rock's texture. A rock's texture consists of three main aspects. They are grain size, grain sorting, and grain shape. Grain size is the average size of the rock's cemented particles, otherwise known as grains. These are measured with a grain size card and are classified using the Wentworth grain size classification system. These sizes range from mud all the way up to boulder, and it's where rocks such as sandstone, siltstone, and mudstone get their name. Grain sorting is a general comment on how similarly sized the grains are, ranging from poorly to well sorted. Rocks that are poorly sorted enough are called conglomerates or breccias and look like conglomerates of other rocks, to use the same word again. Grain shape determines the roundness of the rocks, ranging from rounded to angular. A hand lens is required to determine the roundness of very small grains, but with sand size and smaller size grains, you can just assume that they are rounded. Looking at this rock and seeing that as sand-sized grains, with no hand lens, I would have to assume that these are rounded. Conglomerates and breccias are differentiated by their grain shape. Conglomerates are rounded grains and breccias are angular grains. Now, after discussing the importance of color in a rock description, how mineralogy can help name a rock, and the necessity of texture to complete the rock description, I can now describe this rock as a well-sorted, light gray sandstone made primarily of quartz. Now that you have the necessary information to make a complete rock description, the next time you're having a picnic, you can impress your friends by describing the rocks that are preventing you all from becoming uncomfortable. Thank you.